Hey guys, thanks for watching today. I'm going to give you all the details on a fishing trip of a lifetime that's relatively inexpensive and should be on every angler's bucket list. So stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this.
What's that on that beat, ho?
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
Keep it tight. There, yeah, look, see it?
Gotcha.
All right. Yeah, just pounds it. Come on, easily. Oh, shit. Alright guys, today's vlog is basically a do-it-yourself bucket list fishing adventure that I believe should be on every angler's fishing bucket list. And it doesn't matter whether you're a beginning angler or you've been doing this your whole life. It really doesn't take a lot to make this happen. You don't have to have your own boat or kayak, or you can have all of that and you can still make this happen. So I'm going to go through the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how, all those details here with you as I've been making this adventure over the last 3 years with friends and family, and we've had tremendous success. So I want to share it with you. I think you guys could too. So let me start out here first by going over the what. What are we talking about today, guys? We're talking about giant breeder redfish, also known as bull reds, okay? The where, we're talking about Pensacola Bay, Florida, and the when, we're talking late fall, so late October to late December. And the why, they're fattening up for winter. Okay, so let me kind of tell you how I understand what happens here is basically as the water temperature starts to decrease, we get into fall, all the bait fish start coming down from the estuaries and congregate in the Pensacola Bay. Now, if you're familiar with the Pensacola Bay, great. If you're not, great too. Pensacola Bay is very simple. It's got a 3-mile bridge that cuts it in half, and that right there is kind of your starting point. Okay, pretty much you want to fish south of Pensacola, of that bridge in Pensacola Bay. So you usually within 1 mile of the bridge south, you'll find the fish. They basically will stay between the pass and the bridge. Sometimes they will go out into the ocean, but for the main part, you'll be fine if you just set up on a point by mid-morning and look for schools of fish. Basically, just follow the 3 B's, baits, birds, and boats. Okay, there's going to be a lot of boats probably out there, especially if you make the adventure during the holidays, but don't worry, there's plenty of fish for everybody. All right, plenty of birds out there to tip off where the fish are. You want to look for the big birds, the heron, the cranes that are diving down, because these redfish aren't really chasing like the rain minnows, they're chasing like the menhaden. Okay, and there's been times where I've seen an acre of menhaden just flipping on the surface, and then the bull reds will just come up and crush them. Hundreds of birds swirling. It's epic, and I can tell you it's the biggest adrenaline rush in fishing that you'll get. Sometimes it can turn into combat fishing, but honestly, it's a blast. It's just so much fun. And again, even somebody who really doesn't fish much, they can have success doing this. There's good guides out there that can take you. I'll actually put a link to one that I've used a long time ago. Great guide, check them out definitely. But even if you're with your own boat, or if you have a kayak, just set up along the bridge. I'd probably go at night if you were in a kayak, so there's not as many boats out there and it wouldn't be as rough, and the fish tend to congregate around the bridges in the evenings, and people have a lot of success doing that. All right, so again, the time of the year, that late fall, I would say late November is probably the best time. Each week is different depending on the weather, but you really can't go wrong. I've gone every year during the Thanksgiving break week and had a lot of success. So again, you too can do that. Let me go over what I use basically. I'm throwing a 1 to 2 ounce bucktail jig. This is a homemade jig. Pink is my favorite color. It's basically a pink and white. You can see it here.
I put a trailer like a grub on there just to give it a little bit more action. But when I cast it out, if I'm not seeing fish, which will happen, you know, you may go 2 hours, 3 hours without seeing fish, you know, just bounce it off the bottom and work it back to the boat. I've hooked up so many times just blind casting like that. And when I hook up with one of them, there's usually 5, 6, 7 of them that are following him. So my buddies will just cast out and we'll double, triple up. You know, again, without even seeing fish. So definitely blind cast. Cut your engine off and look at the sonar and blind cast. The other thing you could use is just a regular jig head right here with some sort of swim bait or grub on there. That will work just fine. You know, if the fish are on the surface, which will happen, you know, you can run it back a little bit quicker. But they're all over. This past year, they were more down, so you really want to look in that channel. Again, kill your engine, look on your sonar. You can bounce it off the bottom, and you'll hook up. The type of reel that I'm using is basically, you know, saltwater spinning reel, 4000 series preferably. This is a Penn Fierce 2 I got right here, laced up with 20-pound braid, and use a 40-pound fluorocarbon leader. You know, you don't want to go much lighter than that, because after catching a couple of them, you know, you'll probably fray up your line. I mean, these are big fish. All these fish are probably between 15, 25 pounds on average, and then you get some up into the 30s. But again, this particular migration doesn't happen, you know, anywhere else at this magnitude on the Panhandle, okay? So it doesn't happen over in Perdido Bay, doesn't really happen in Destin at this magnitude. I mean, this is epic. I mean, thousands of redfish. I mean, you've seen the footage. You can even look it up even more on YouTube. But I hope that I've gone over everything. Again, the time too, when you want to fish, I usually get out there probably around 9, 10 a.m. in the morning, and then fish until, you know, 3, 4 o'clock. You know, you get a good, they'll come up and they'll give you an indication of when they're going to be feeding, but it could be any time. So I don't want to give you a certain, you know, time to be out there, but definitely during the day you can get it done with artificials, guys. I mean, it's just something that you all have to experience. So I hope you like this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message and I'll be happy to answer you and point you in the right direction. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, want to see more videos, shoot me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. You guys have a good one. Thanks.